I'm Brooklyn Smith, and this is my persuasion speech, and here is my audience. And I will begin now. What if on a random day you were all of a sudden arrested, convicted of murder, sentenced to life in prison, or worse, put to death, all because of a crime you did not commit? I'm here to show you that our criminal justice system isn't perfect. It's finally time to learn the flaws of our death penalty. I'm here not to tell you who is guilty or who is innocent, but I'm here to persuade you to take a stand and save the innocent who are wrongfully convicted. Most people like to think our justice system doesn't make any mistakes. Sadly, however, they do. I've done research and found statistics on the death penalty, and I have listened to a live speaker who came to my school to talk about his time on death row and who was exonerated because he was innocent. Abolishing the death penalty will not only save innocent people's lives, but will reinstate the idea of rehabilitation. First of all, I'd like to tell you how the death penalty isn't as effective as we think it is. It hasn't lowered the crime and murder rates since it's been put into effect. The death penalty is meant to deter people away from killing, but instead it's putting more innocent lives at risk. According to National Academy of Science, they have found the death penalty has not proven a deterrent effect. People think it's preventing murder when it's actually not. Like I said, innocent people are being put to death. The Innocence Project has stated for every 25 people executed, at least one of those people are innocent. Now that doesn't seem like much, but as long as the death penalty is still allowed, the numbers from there will only increase. The death penalty is also very expensive. According to Amnesty International, they found in California, their current justice system costs them around $137 million a year. Now, if they were to abolish the death penalty, it would only cost them $11.5 million a year. Now, as you can see, it is way cheaper for taxpayers if criminals serve their full life sentence instead of being put to death. The death penalty also doesn't establish rehabilitation. Our criminal justice system has 5 purposes of punishments. Each punishment is meant to follow these 5 things: deterrence, incapacitation, rehabilitation, retribution, and restitution. If 2 of the 5 are not already being followed, then why is it a punishment in the first place? We already talked about how deterrence isn't already being followed and there is no proven fact that it's actually working. And if we kill these people, the criminals won't have the chance for rehabilitation, to learn from their mistakes, and to become better people. Why should we condone killing in our justice system if it's not condoned in society? Now, a fair question to ask is, how can we help? The Innocent Project offers many ways for people like you and I to help. They offer petitions, donations, volunteer opportunities, and offer guest speakers to spread awareness. You can also help to legislate against it. You can support organizations to help with their research. An example of this is Amnesty International does this research to mobilize against the death penalty. They use the donations that they are given from civilians to do their research. Now, you might argue that people like us don't have the power to do anything about the death penalty. However, civilians who donated to Atlantic Philanthropies raised $62 million over 11 years to help decrease the execution rate. As you can see, if we come together and spread awareness, anything is possible. Why should we condone killing in our justice system if it's not condoned in society? In conclusion, although the death penalty was used to help deter crime, it's mainly putting more innocent people at risk, and it doesn't serve under a true purpose of punishment. Take some time to do your own personal research and learn more about the topic and how it's affecting people around the world. Next time you hear someone is exonerated, think about how many more innocent people are waiting to be put to death. Thank you. Do we have any questions?
So you first mentioned the Innocence Project. I'm curious, if we were interested in donating or signing, how would we do that?
So there's a website called innocenceproject.com, if you select the Take Action button when you go to the website, it gives you all the options on what you can do. Like I said in the speech, there's petitions, donations. You can see what speakers are available to come talk at schools or any organizations you want them to speak at. Another question?
You talked about listening to a speaker who was exonerated from death row. Who was that, and what was that like? What was his story like?
Yeah, so his name was Ray Crone. He came to my college a couple semesters ago, and basically he had been exonerated from death row, and he told us about his story. He basically said that he told us from the day he got arrested what he was doing that day, what he did for a job, and how he was just randomly arrested, and just talked about his journey, how he was convicted, about his trial, and then talked about what it was like to be on death row. So, and then talked about how he felt now and how he works with the Innocence Project to spread awareness and wants to make people aware. Have any more questions?
What made you choose this topic? Why is this important to you?
So, obviously this is a very controversial topic these days. I think a lot of people focus, at least in the state of Arizona, of promoting to-kill murderers and promoting the death penalty, when I think it's not taking into account what if the justice system is wrong. I like to think people are thinking, to support the death penalty because of murderers. They killed someone, then maybe they should be killed. But however, I don't think people take into account the innocent people who are convicted and how they have to go through that same process. Is there any more questions? All right, thank you.